Picture ancient Rome, a city of gods, emperors, and sacred rituals. Religion wasn't just a belief, it was the heartbeat of the Roman Empire, shaping laws, wars, and daily life. From pagan temples to the rise of Christianity, join us on a 15-minute journey to uncover how faith built and transformed an empire. Hit that subscribe button for more epic history stories, and let's dive into the divine world of Rome. In ancient Rome, religion was woven into every moment. Priests offered sacrifices to gods like Jupiter and Mars, seeking divine favor for the empire's success. Blood and fire connected the mortal world to the divine, ensuring Rome's strength. The Pantheon, built in 126 CE, stood as a testament to Rome's devotion. This architectural marvel honored all gods, its oculus letting sunlight bathe marble statues. It was a place where Romans felt the presence of the divine. Rome's gods were a blend of local deities and Greek influences. Jupiter mirrored Zeus, Juno echoed Hera. This pantheon wasn't just mythology, it was a system of power, uniting a vast empire under shared beliefs. Every Roman home had a lararium, a shrine for household gods. Families offered bread, wine, and prayers to protect their homes. Religion wasn't just public, it was deeply personal, guiding daily life. Emperors were more than rulers, they were high priests. Augustus, as Pontifex Maximus, led grand ceremonies, blending politics and faith. The emperor's divine role cemented his authority across the empire. Rome's diversity brought new faiths. Jewish communities thrived, worshiping one god in synagogues. Their presence added a unique thread to Rome's religious tapestry, though tensions sometimes arose. In the shadows, Christianity emerged. Hidden in catacombs, early Christians prayed in secret, their faith in one God challenging Rome's pagan traditions. Persecution couldn't stop its spread. Mithraism, a mysterious cult, captivated soldiers and elites. In underground temples, initiates worshipped Mithras, slayer of the cosmic bull. Its secrecy added to Rome's religious complexity. Festivals like Lupercalia brought Romans together. Priests ran through streets, and citizens celebrated fertility and renewal. These rituals strengthened community and devotion to the gods. The Roman Empire wasn't just built on military might, it was forged by a deep connection to the divine. Let's explore how religion defined Rome's rise and transformation. In Rome's early days, around 753 BCE, religion was simple but powerful. Romans believed the gods controlled nature and fate. They worshipped deities like Mars, the god of war, and Vesta, the goddess of the hearth. Every home had small shrines for Lares and Penates, household gods who protected families. These early beliefs laid the foundation for a society that saw the divine in everything. As Rome grew, so did its pantheon. The Temple of Jupiter. Optimus Maximus on Capitoline Hill became the empire's spiritual center. Jupiter, king of the gods, symbolized Rome's power. Temples to Juno, Minerva, and others dotted the city, each a hub of worship and sacrifice. Romans offered animals, wine, and bread to appease the gods, believing this ensured prosperity. Religion wasn't just personal, it was political. Priests, like the Pontifex Maximus, held immense influence. They performed rituals to bless military campaigns and public decisions. Augurs, special priests, read omens in bird flights or animal entrails to guide the Senate. A bad omen could halt a war or sway a vote. Religion and governance were inseparable. Festivals like Saturnalia brought Romans together. For a week, social norms flipped. Slaves dined with masters, and everyone celebrated Saturn, the god of abundance. These events strengthened community bonds and reminded Romans of their shared faith. Public sacrifices led by leaders like Julius Caesar reinforced the emperor's divine connection. Under Augustus, who ruled from 27 BCE, religion became a tool for unity. He restored temples and promoted the imperial cult, where emperors were worshipped as divine. This tied the vast empire together, from Spain to Syria. But change was coming. In the 1st century CE, a new faith emerged: Christianity. Early Christians faced persecution. Their refusal to worship Roman gods was seen as treason. Secret meetings in catacombs kept their faith alive. By the 3rd century, Christianity spread, challenging Rome's pagan traditions. Emperor Constantine changed everything. In 313 CE, his Edict of Milan legalized Christianity, shifting the empire's spiritual course. Pagan temples began to crumble as Christianity rose. By the 4th century, emperors like Theodosius made Christianity the state religion. Pagan practices were banned, and temples were destroyed or converted. This marked the end of Rome's ancient religious order and the dawn of a Christian empire. What was the legacy of Roman religion? It gave Rome structure, identity, and a way to govern diverse peoples. Even today, Rome's ruins, its temples, altars, and churches, tell the story of a civilization shaped by faith. From Jupiter's grand statues to the humble cross, religion defined Rome's past and echoes in our present. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into history, hit that subscribe button for more stories from the ancient world. What do you think? Was religion Rome's strength or its downfall? Share your thoughts in the comments. Lucius Vorenus trudged through the mud of a Roman camp in central Gaul, his scarred face set like stone. At 40, he'd spent half his life under the eagle standard, fighting from Hispania to the Rhine. His men respected him, feared him even, for he was as unyielding as the gladius at his side. "Form ranks," he bellowed, his voice cutting through the dawn. The legionaries snapped to attention, their shields gleaming. Caesar's orders were clear: subdue the Aedui tribe, secure their grain, and pave the way for Rome's advance. Lucius cared little for glory. He fought for duty, for the promise of a farm when his service ended. But Gaul was stubborn, its people wild as the wolves in their woods. Miles away, in an Aedui village of wooden huts, Versilia sharpened her dagger by a fire. Her dark hair was braided tight, her eyes burning with defiance. As daughter of Dumnorix, the chieftain, she'd grown up hearing tales of Roman cruelty. Towns burned, warriors chained, gods forsaken. "They come with their roads and their laws," she spat to her father as warriors gathered. "They'll choke us like vines." Dumnorix, his beard streaked with gray, urged caution. "Rome is a tide, Versilia. We cannot fight the sea." But she wouldn't hear it. To her, freedom was worth any price, even blood. Meanwhile, Titus Marcellus, barely 20, scribbled plans on a wax tablet beside a half-built road. The Via Gallica, he called it, a stone ribbon to link Rome's conquests. Titus was no soldier. His weapons were measurements and levers, his dream to build something eternal. "These roads will carry Rome's light to the barbarians," he told his workers, slaves, and legionaries sweating under the sun. But the Gauls didn't see light, they saw chains. At night, their horns echoed from the hills, and Titus felt a chill no fire could warm. The spark came when Caesar's envoy rode into the Aedui village, demanding tribute. "Grain, men, loyalty," the envoy declared, "or your homes burn." "We'll pay," he said, though his eyes smoldered. That night, Versilia slipped away, rallying young warriors. "The Arverni fight," she whispered. "Will we cower?" By dawn, they'd burned a Roman supply caravan, its smoke a challenge to the eagle. Lucius got the news at midday. "Fools!" he growled, strapping on his helmet. He led his cohort, 500 men, shields locked, pila ready, toward the Aedui lands. Titus trailed behind, tasked with guarding the roadworks. "Stay out of the fight, boy," Lucius warned. "Your stones won't help in battle." Titus nodded, but his heart raced. He believed in Rome's mission, yet the Gauls' defiance stirred something in him. Admiration, perhaps, or doubt. The clash came at dawn on a misty field. The Romans formed a wall of shields, disciplined and unbreakable. Across the grass, Gaulish warriors painted their faces, chanting to their gods. Versilia stood among them, bow in hand, her father at the center with his spear. "For our land!" she cried, loosing an arrow that felled a legionary. The Gauls charged, wild and fierce, but Rome's machine was relentless. Pila flew, swords flashed, and blood soaked the earth. Lucius fought like a demon, cutting down warriors, his mind numb to the screams. Versilia's arrows found their marks, but the tide turned. The Gauls broke, fleeing into the forest. Dumnorix fell, a Roman spear in his chest. Versilia escaped, wounded but alive, her heart heavy with loss. She hid in the hills, vowing to fight on. Lucius, bloodied but unbowed, stood over the battlefield, counting his dead. 30 men lost, a victory, but a costly one. Titus approached, pale, staring at the carnage. "Is this Rome's light?" he asked softly. Lucius glared. "It's order, boy. Without it, the world falls." But his voice lacked conviction. Weeks later, the Via Gallica crept forward, stones laid over bloodied ground. Titus worked in silence, his dreams of glory dimmed. Lucius marched on, haunted by faces he'd buried. Versilia, now a shadow in the woods, gathered survivors, whispering of rebellion. Rome's road stretched ever northward, binding Gaul to an empire, but the cost was carved in every stone, lives lost, spirits broken, and a land forever changed. The eagle's shadow grew, but in the hearts of the conquered embers glowed, waiting for a spark. But foreign cults sparked fear. The Senate often banned practices like the worship of Isis, worried they threatened Roman order. Yet these faiths persisted, showing Rome's struggle to control belief. Everything changed with Constantine. In 325 CE, he embraced Christianity at the Council of Nicaea, uniting the empire under a new faith. His conversion marked a turning point in history. Pagan temples fell as Christianity rose. Statues of Jupiter were toppled, replaced by churches. The old gods faded, but their legacy lingered in Rome's art and culture. By the 4th century, Rome was a Christian empire. Grand basilicas filled with worshippers replaced pagan shrines. Faith had reshaped the empire, guiding it into a new era. Conclusion: as the sun sets over Rome, we see a city transformed by faith. From pagan rituals to Christian basilicas, religion shaped the Roman Empire's rise and fall. Its legacy lives on in our laws, art, and beliefs. If you loved this journey, like, share, and subscribe for more history stories. What's your take on Rome's religious evolution? Drop it in the comments below.